Hello, my name is Tiffany Chang, and this is Conductor as CEO, where I take ideas from other industries and share how we can apply them as arts leaders. I imagine a world where leaders help people thrive, feeling more valued, seen, and fulfilled, while knowing that their work truly matters. We all know that it is important to ask our musicians for their opinions. We may do it out of obligation, but mostly we do it because we care. We are interested and we want to be better. At the same time, good intentions may not always be enough to maximize the impact of those intentions. We can always strive to be better at how we ask our musicians for their opinions. Here are 4 guidelines to help us be more intentional. Number 1, solicit stories. Empathy is crucial to truly hearing what others have to say. And empathy is associated with stories. Stories make people more human. They make us multidimensional and messy, like we are in real life. And while numbers and quantitative data can be useful in a direct and clear manner, they provide mostly a limited picture. A 7 out of 10 rating on a question like, "Do you feel supported?" leaves too much room for the unknown. And this, in turn, limits our understanding of where they're coming from, their needs, and their circumstances. And of course, it prevents us from identifying the most appropriate responses. While we listen to our people's stories, we allow also our people to be seen. We can think more deeply about what they have to say in constructive ways using more relevant qualitative information. It sends the message that our focus is on them as people and not distilling people down to simply numbers. Number 2, promote psychological safety. We can lead by admitting to our own mistakes as leaders. It sends the message that nobody is perfect and we are all trying to be better. We want our people to reveal challenges and bumps in the road in what they tell us. And modeling this desired behavior normalizes it and diffuses reservations in our people about being fully open. We are just like them, and that helps them feel safe. We can also make a point to set aside blame. In challenging conversations, it's easy to point fingers, shift responsibility, and become defensive. We can combat those tendencies by creating conditions to perform what Jim Collins calls autopsies without blame. When we're thinking about how we can be better, ask future-oriented questions that focus on the solutions rather than getting stuck in the problems and the faults of the past. Remind our people that nobody's status, standing, or worth are in jeopardy when having these conversations. Take serious measures also to honor confidentiality each time we ask questions. This sounds obvious, but we all need to be reminded that this is a priority. And this consistency leads to building mutual trust and respect that will enable the most fruitful conversations. Number 3, design accountability. Plan when, where, and how often we ask musicians for their opinions. Gather opinions in a variety of settings. For example, before a cycle begins, right after a concert, during an outreach activity, at the end of a season, or at a gala event, etc. Now, we don't have to ask questions at all these events, but being mindful and choosing when helps us ask ourselves if we are catching people under varying circumstances. We can also consider the frequency. Are we asking too often? Not enough? Do the right type of questions fit the frequency and the intention? And how can we make these a habit? We also want to disclose why we are asking. We want to ask meaningful questions that will elicit meaningful responses. And transparency leaves few questions unanswered and will encourage buy-in from the musicians. When we don't know how our contribution is going to have an impact, we are less motivated to give our full effort. We want to know how what we give is going to be used. In addition, transparency minimizes the potential for manipulation. Once we have our intentional plan, follow through with it and be consistent. Now, this is easier said than done. Just consider any time we want to start a new habit or practice. We start off eager and running, but our motivation wanes quickly and dramatically over time. So, consistency always wins in the long run, and trust builds when we do what we say we would again and again. Number 4, make it easy. Even the most eager people are sometimes afraid or hesitant to offer their opinions. And few people actually take up the offer when leaders say, "My door is always open." So leaders can take the initiative to go to our people, reach out to individual musicians for one-on-one informal chats. Now that may sound like a lot, but if given 100 musicians, that's about 3 chats per week over 35 weeks. Assuming that they're only 15-minute chats, that's only 45 minutes a week. And we can learn a lot in a 15-minute conversation if we really listen. We can also create diverse ways musicians can share their opinions. It may include synchronous, such as meetings and discussions, or asynchronous methods, such as online surveys. We can also allow for a variety of mediums. Some people prefer to write, while others prefer to speak into their phones. Face-to-face may be empowering for some, while terrifying for others. And one-on-one feels very different from a group setting. In group settings, we can also be mindful of how we facilitate. We can always reflect on if leaders are speaking more than listening, if they are in telling mode or asking mode. We can ask if we are making it convenient for our people to attend. And an appropriate frequency will allow for easy access and encourage participation. Once in a while sessions are also good, but they don't always make it easy for the musicians to feel like they can have a voice. I hope you will consider one or more of these guidelines the next time you ask musicians for their opinions. Make an effort to ask for stories in a psychologically safe environment where accountability is integrated, and make it easy. New habits will form with practice, and it will begin to feel less awkward, less uncomfortable. Soon, it will become just the way we do things around here and part of your culture. If these ideas resonate with you, please consider signing up in the link below to receive an email with each new blog post sent directly to your inbox. Thank you and have a great day.